To understand open source software, we must first understand what source code and compiled code are. When software is used by a computer, we know it as a string of ones and zeros. Of course, we also know that people don't think that way. Therefore, as humans, we write in source code, which is code in a more commonly understandable language. Here is an example of source code. Looking at this source code, we can see that the code displays the words "Hello World" onto the screen. While it may seem a bit cryptic, it is certainly not as difficult to read as a page full of ones and zeros. However, this code is unusable by the computer since it is not ones and zeros. Therefore, source code must be converted to machine code. To do this, it is sent through a compiler, which converts the code into ones and zeros that are usable by the operating system or the processor. This is why software for Windows can't be used on a Mac. It's compiled for Windows. As we can see by looking at the source code, we can learn what the program does. Having access to the source code may allow us to modify it as well. Software that is open source is software where the company makes the source code public for the community. This allows the community to both see how it works and in many cases offer their own modifications to it. Closed source software, conversely, offers the user little insight into how it works. Examples of open source software are Linux, which is an open source operating system, MySQL, which is an open source database application, Firefox, and the Android operating system. A well-known open source combination is known as a LAMP stack, consisting of Linux, Apache, which is an open source web server, MySQL, and a programming language, such as PHP, Perl, or Python. We will be building one of these and working with it for our class project. It is often a point of discussion as to which model is more secure. There is no real industry-wide consensus on this. While closed source software might be more difficult to find vulnerabilities in, open source software has a community of many eyes looking at it, so vulnerabilities are more quickly identified and fixed. One advantage to open source can come in the way of privacy, where communities can act as a watchdog over source code to make sure it is clear of code meant to track and monitor individual behavior and activities.